Welcome to WishGenies. WishGenies takes many of the principles that have worked for sites like eHarmony and applies them to gift recommendations. So in a site like eHarmony, you answer a lot of personality questions, and then eHarmony will then match you up against other users based on its expectations of your dating compatibility. WishGenies works on a fairly similar principle. Um, with WishGenies, though, you tell us who you're shopping for and a little bit about what they're interested in, and then we'll match your friend to all the other users in our system. But instead of suggesting a dating match, it asks those people what they would recommend for your friend in terms of gift ideas. This tends to be pretty easy for them because they share a lot of the same interests, and so what they like is probably what your friend would like as well. So let's go ahead and see how it works. So the first thing users will do is they'll hit this landing page, and once they click Get Started, they're going to be taken into our request wizard. And what the request wizard does is it loads up a list of all of their Facebook friends. This is a Facebook application currently. So if I am looking, for example, for a gift for my little sister, I will select her, sister, and we'll spend $100 on her. And then what's going to happen is WishGenies is going to load up all the information that it can find about Lauren. This is information that she's provided in her Facebook profile via liking things, or just going in there and saying what sort of interests she likes, or activities, or books, and music, and what have you. So it loads all of her existing interests up, and then I can add more. But let me just take a second to explain what's important about this list. This is how we match people to other folks. So whereas in sites like eHarmony, you might be answering questions like that are personality focused. Here, it's really more focused on what your interests and activities are, because that tends to be a little bit more closely related to to what sort of things you would enjoy receiving as a gift. In this case, Lauren has already got quite a bit of interest, and so I don't really need to add any more. This is actually a green progress bar, and it's full. If I did want to add some more items, I see that she's a Lord Voldemort fan, but I know she actually likes Dumbledore as well. I can go ahead and add Dumbledore to her profile. So the way this works is it's actually running a search against the Facebook API. So I can add Dumbledore to her list of recommendations and then submit this request. So behind the scenes, WishGenies is going to take all this information that it now knows about Lauren, match her up to all the other users in the system, and then alert the ones that have some commonality with her and say, hey, this person could really use some gift recommendations. Could you please make some? In the meantime, what we've done is we've partnered with a site called Hunch.com, and Hunch.com essentially is doing what we are doing, but they're trying to make these recommendations in an automated way using some machine learning techniques. Frankly, the results that you get are so far not super phenomenal. They tend to be kind of the same for different users, but it does allow us to provide some more instant feedback, and those are the results that you're seeing here right now. So that's about it for making a request. Now on the flip side, let's go ahead and pretend that I was now coming in and received a request, and now I need to be a genie for somebody else. So I will pop over to this little area, and as you can see, I now have the details of someone else's request. It doesn't tell me who it is. There's some privacy issues here, but it tells me what their interests are, and then asks me for certain recommendations. Now, in this particular case, most users would not actually see this one if they don't have any common interests, but I, being the founder, I'm looking at everything. So let's see, I know she enjoys, let's see, well, basically she doesn't enjoy much of anything that I know too much about. But I do know that there are yoga deals on these Groupon and Living Social sites all the time, and you can see I've actually recommended that in the past. I think that would actually not be a bad idea. So I can select this idea, and then I can click recommend. Now in this case, I think I've already recommended that for this particular person, so I will skip that. But I can re-recommend items I've recommended in the past, or let's say there's some sort of a yoga book. I don't know which one would be, but I can run a search. This is actually hitting the Amazon API. If I say, okay, yeah, actually I know about this one, I can recommend that one as well. And that's really about all it takes to make these recommendations. Once I'm done, I can then just submit the recommendation and move on. So now let's go ahead and pretend that I'm now, I've got some recommendations. So this is the one I just made for my little sister. I think I've got some ideas. Yeah, I've made a request for Lauren in the past. So let me go ahead and pop into that request, and I'll show you what sort of recommendations I've received. This is actually a pretty good idea for my little sister. She's writing a book that has a lot to do with physics, and it's a merge of physics and fantasy. So this is actually a pretty good idea. This I actually bought my sister for Christmas, and she loves it. I have actually bought her Audible.com credits in the past, and she's liked those as well. I don't know these other ones quite as well, but these are ideas that were generated by other actual users of our system. And then here you can see that these are the automated recommendations. So that's really about it in terms of how WishGenies works right now. There's going to be a lot of changes coming in the future. So I launched WishGenies on Facebook for two reasons. The first was because it meant that a lot of this profile information was more readily available, but there needs to be some viral component if I want to grow this community, and I have yet to really capitalize on that. So the next iteration of WishGenies is going to be more gaming and socially focused. So the biggest thing that I can do at this point is to build users. I've actually received a lot of very positive feedback on most of the aspects of the site in terms of how it works and the principles, and many of the ideas were actually purchased. But the more users I have, the more selective I can be in terms of choosing who to make who to ask for recommendations. And the best way to do that is really just to simply get a lot more users. So we're definitely aiming at the viral aspect of things, but also we're going to try and get some blog posts written about us. I've actually already got an offer to write one with the folks at WrapLeaf. So that's about it for WishGenies right now. Appreciate the time.